Hello everyone, welcome to the Complete Python Programming course. This is a 3 levels course. Each level consists of multiple episodes, where each episode is dedicated to a specific topic. When we approach more complex subjects, a topic might span 2 or more episodes. I will do my best to keep episodes short and to the point. This is a free course. You will not be asked to buy any materials or sign-ups. In the beginner level of this course, we will cover the basics, starting at the very beginning, and introduce different concepts as we move along. We will talk about variables, data types, operators, functions, and a few other basic concepts. In the second part of this course, we will be covering intermediate level topics such as classes, data structures, and real-world applications. The third part will cover the advanced topics. We will talk about that when we get there. This course will be different in many ways. First, we'll be starting at the very beginning. So even if you don't have any previous programming experience, you will learn everything you need to get you started. We will be concentrating on understanding the underlying concepts of programming. This should help you pick up other languages very quickly. After we cover the basics of programming, we will be using code from large business applications. We will break them down and introduce you to real production code. Where other tutorials or courses are based on generic examples, we will be addressing real-world problems and solutions. There are many tutorials promising to teach you programming in a small number of hours. This course makes no such ridiculous promise. We will take things slowly and learn programming instead of typing. My name is Ali. I work as a software engineer. I have more than 15 years of software development experience. Python is one of the languages I use at work. Python is an interpreted, high-level, general-purpose language. Python is written in C. It's easy to learn and is widely used to write software of different sizes. Don't worry if you don't understand what interpreted or high-level or general-purpose means. We'll be talking about that in future videos. Why Python? Python is an easy language to learn. Its syntax is simpler and more friendly than other languages. Python is an interpreted language. This means you don't have to compile your code. Compiling programs can be challenging for beginners. Fortunately, you don't have to learn any of that to program with Python. Python learning curve is not as steep as low-level languages, while the language is still powerful enough to be a good choice for many programs. It's a great language to start with and can be a good introduction to the programming world and, of course, software development. There is high demand on Python programmers, and this demand will continue for a long time. The Python official website is well documented and detailed enough to make understanding the more complex concepts much more pleasant than many other languages. You will be able to write simple programs soon. While some advanced topics can be complex, you will survive without even knowing about them. This is a Python 3 course. There are some differences between Python 2 and Python 3. You will need Python 3. If you are on Linux operating system, you probably have it installed already. To check your Python installation, open up your terminal, Python 3, and hit enter. You should be taken to Python in your terminal. To exit the interpreter, you can use exit followed by parentheses. Notice that in Python 3 now I have Python 3.8 on Linux operating system. If you are on Mac, you can do the same. If you have an updated Mac, you should have Python already installed, Python 3. And notice that on my Mac, I have Python 3.8 as well. You can exit it without any problems by typing exit, followed by parentheses. If you type Python without 3, you will be taken to Python 2, and Mac will actually warn you that this software is an older version and you should be using Python 3 from now on. Let's exit our Python. To access your terminal on Mac, if you don't know how to do that, just go to the search and type terminal, and you will find terminal in your Mac. Your terminal might look a little bit different than mine, but this is just a color. I'm using green on black to make it much easier to read for the video. If you are on Windows, open your command prompt and type Python in your command prompt. If you don't have it installed, most probably Windows will take you to the download site. If it doesn't, you can download Python by going to python.org, hit downloads, and select Windows, latest Python release, and scroll to the bottom of the page where you will have installer for 32 and 64. That should be straightforward. A note on running your code. If you have Windows or Mac, you might want to get a virtual machine. You can install a virtualization program for both operating systems, which would help you run Linux inside your operating system. Most servers are Linux. Python usually goes very well with that. I actually never saw a Windows server running Python programs. I'm sure there's something out there, but I never saw that. So running Linux should help you. If you want to run Linux in a virtual machine, run Ubuntu 20. So you will have the latest updates that we will be using in this course. You will also need a text editor. Search Google for Python editor and you will find many options. Select the one that you like. All you need is a text editor, and many of them have good syntax highlighters, and you will be able to use it very easily. Just don't try to use rich text editor for programming. That will not work. Let's try to make this introduction a little bit more interesting. We'll make our first Python program today. In your file manager, create a new directory. Let's call our directory my first program. Inside your directory, create a file. Call your file hello.py. Make sure that there is no other extension after the py. Save your file and then open your file with your text editor. This is an empty Python file. All Python programs have .py extension. Print hello world. Notice the syntax: print, parentheses, quotes, and hello world. This is my first Python program, and we will run our program and see what it does. We will go to our terminal. In your terminal, you will need to exit Python if you already still have it. And you need to cd to the directory where you created your first program directory. My directory is my first program. cd my first program. This should take me to the directory I just created. If you don't know how to enter directories using your terminal, please Google that. This course is not about using your terminal. It's a straightforward process and it's easy to do. In this file, if I want to see what files I have inside my directory, I can use ls, and as you can see, I have hello.py, the file I just created. To run a Python program, it's very easy. Python 3 space and file name hello.py. Notice my file name is hello.py. Python 3 space hello.py. Let me save my file and let's go back to the terminal and let's try to run our program. And when you hit enter, Python will run your program, which is instructing Python to print hello world to your screen. Notice that I have hello world to my screen. This is a very simple program and it just does one thing, which is printing hello world to my screen. You can print more things. Print, notice that in the second print statement, I will use double quotes and I am learning programming, and you can print as many things as you want to your screen by running your program using Python 3 hello.py, and it will print my first statement and then it will print my second statement. I don't want to make this introduction any longer. This is all you need to start programming with Python. In the next lesson, we'll talk about variables and data types. Until then, have a great time and see you.